Okay, and we're back. This is Josh Jelinski, the financial quarterback. We're with Tom Hegna, best-selling author, keynote speaker. Tom, you're in great company. I don't know if you realize this. The show we had with you was our best show by listener acclaim. And I have guys like Lacey Hunt, John Malden, Ed Slott, and you were like the fan favorite when I took polls of what show people liked last year the best. And you were the number one. Can you believe it?
Well, I appreciate that. I did have a PBS TV special, Don't Worry, Retire Happy, and it was filmed in New York, by the way, in Albany, New York, at the PBS facility there. So, maybe there were some people who'd seen me before.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. And it was like during the summer, kind of like a dead period where people are like going to the Poconos, they're going to the shore, and our phones were just lighting up with people telling, hey, we want more of that guy. So anything else you would say to people? Go, oh, I listen to so-and-so and they badmouth annuity. I talked to my accountant about the annuity and they don't like it. What do you say to that accountant?
Well, I would just say they got to get educated. They got to read the research that I've read on retirement. You cannot retire optimally without an annuity in the portfolio. That's not an opinion. That's a mathematical, scientific, and economic fact. And here's why. Inside of a portfolio, the way that the income annuity functions, it functions like a AAA-rated bond because it comes guaranteed every month for the rest of your life, no matter how long you live. With a CCC-rated yield, the payout rate is much higher than what you can get from bonds or other things. With zero standard deviation, it never fluctuates. So whenever I meet an annuity hater, I say this. I say, look, if you think I'm wrong, just prove me wrong. Here's all you got to do. Build a portfolio that you think I cannot beat. Yeah, put all the good stocks in there. Do that. Yeah. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reach into your portfolio. I'm going to remove some of your bonds. I'm going to replace it with some guaranteed lifetime income from an annuity. Do you know what that will do to every single one of your portfolios? Every single one of them. It'll lower the risk and increase the returns. And it's all because inside of that portfolio, the way that income annuity functions, it functions like a AAA-rated bond with a CCC-rated yield with zero standard deviation. Besides that, when you study happiness in retirement, happiness is tied almost 100% to guaranteed lifetime income, not assets. Think about it. Who are your happiest retired friends? It's your retired military, retired government, retired teacher, retired professor. In fact, is people with pensions. The Wall Street Journal had a headline. You can Google it. It's on there right now. You can Google it. It says, the secret to a happier retirement is friends, neighbors, and a fixed annuity. Time magazine found the same thing in Great Britain. Lifetime income stream, key to retirement happiness. Towers Watson, they're not even in the insurance industry, did a whole study, and they found that all retirees were happier if they had a source of guaranteed lifetime income. And now the research shows that you're likely to live longer as well. Freakonomics, a lot of people follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn, and if you don't, you sure can. I post a lot of fun stuff. I posted a Freakonomics study. It's actually a University of Chicago study. It was picked up by Freakonomics, pushed out through social media, and it was a University of Chicago study that studied people who bought lifetime income annuities versus people who didn't. You know what they found? The people that bought the income annuities lived longer than the people that didn't. The best article I've ever read on that subject was published about 3 years ago in the Journal for Financial Service Professionals. It was written by attorney Patrick Tricker, and he found that in the United States, a 65-year-old male who purchases a life annuity can expect to live about 20% longer than a 65-year-old male who does not. And the whole rest of the article explained why people of income annuities live longer. I mean, dumb, stupid things like they don't have as much stress. They don't worry. The market crashes 40%. Guess what? They go play another 18 holes of golf with their buddy. And because they're being paid to live, guess what? Many of them live differently. They watch what they eat. They exercise. They see the doctor when they're not feeling well. And all these dumb, stupid things cause them to tend to live longer. And Jane Austen back in 1811 in the book Sense and Sensibility talked about how people who have annuities live forever. You can read that in chapter 2 of Sense and Sensibility, written in 1811. Annuities have been around for thousands of years. The Roman Empire issued annuities. See, running out of money has been the number one concern of people ever since there's been people and there's been money. It's not a new concern.
No, that's great. Bringing sense and sensibility to the Financial Quarterback Radio Show. We're with Tom Hegna, and if folks, you have a question in the chat box of our YouTube, it's youtube.com. Search for The Financial Quarterback, And call us at 888-988-JOSH if you want his latest book, Don't Worry, Retire Happy. We're also going to talk about his latest white paper, the Retirement Alpha white paper. And we'll talk about, well, what is Retirement Alpha? How can I get it? So I love what we're learning from you, Tom. So you're talking, you talk to the annuity naysayers. Here's the other thing. A lot of people, you think about who's happiest. It's somebody who gets mailbox money, right? They get checks coming in, whether it's a pension or an annuity. There is a happiness quotient to all of that. That's such a good point. You don't have anybody say, for all of the poo-pooing that some people do on annuities, you don't have people say, I'm going to send my check back to the pension department. I'm going to send my Social Security check back to the government. Do you?
Nope, that never happens.
And I find it really dangerous how, I remember these, people saying, oh, I'd rather die and go to hell than buy an annuity. What do you say to the people who say that?
I said he probably will. I know who said that, and I said he probably will.
Oh, no.
Well, here's the deal. When people claim that they're fiduciaries, but they're not giving people guaranteed lifetime income, that's malpractice in my book. The only reason they're not using annuities is because they don't want to have the clients take their money out of their accounts because they're getting paid fees. We call them forever fees. Many of these fiduciaries, they're not really, I call them fake fiduciaries. They're investment fiduciaries. They're not retirement fiduciaries. They're there to invest it with low fees and all that. Well, okay, that's great when you're saving and investing. That's not going to get you through retirement, okay? You need to have some guaranteed lifetime income in retirement because of sequence of returns risk, and they don't know about sequence of returns risk, and they run Monte Carlo simulations, which are ridiculous. If your broker's running a Monte Carlo simulation, demand that they use age 100. They all use age 90. Well, age 90 fails 63% of the time. So don't allow them to use age 90. Have them put in 100 or 105, and you'll find out that their plan fails almost every single time. And so because of all of this, you've got to, I just tell people, you don't have to get rid of your stocks. Just get rid of your bonds. Use the annuity as a bond substitute. It is a better bond. It's a bond replacement because, look, at bonds are paying almost nothing now, and they've got huge interest rate risk because if interest rates go up, what happens to the value of bonds? They go down. Many of these bonds can lose 20, 30, 40, 50% of their value. That doesn't happen in an income annuity. And as I said before, that income annuity functions like a AAA rated bond with a triple C rated yield with zero standard deviation.
And we saw that last March. The federal government had to bail out bond ETFs. People forget that. Do you remember that, Tom?
Yeah, and I wrote a white or part of my blog in my newsletter. I said the 60-40 portfolio is dead. Long live life insurance and annuities. And all I said is that the 40% bond side, if you're 60% stock, 40% bond, the 40% bond side is dead. Replace it. If you're under age 55, replace the bonds with cash value life insurance. You're going to get a bond-like return, but you're not going to have the interest rate risk. If you're, let's say, 60 or 65 and older, replace the bonds with a lifetime income annuity. It's going to do better for your portfolio. And I wish these fiduciaries would actually, grow up and really become fiduciaries, become real fiduciaries, not fake fiduciaries. And I see way too many of these fake fiduciaries. And you'll know they're fake if they're against annuities. Then they're fake. You know that. They're fake.
And here's the other thing. And I'm CEO of a fiduciary company, Wealth Quarterback. That's really like if you go to a financial advisor and they just poo-poo what you're doing instead of interacting with these articles, I would be suspicious. That's just me. Because anytime anybody there's kind of merit in anything, right? Like you're not dismissing dividend paying stocks. You're not dismissing stocks. You're not dismissing real estate. You're just saying, hey, think about annuities as a way to get what you call, I like that, triple C rated yield with A plus rated risk. I like that a lot. Although I can't say it as good as you. So, want to comment on that a little bit more?
Well, I mean, I even posted that I was pro Bitcoin for 1% of a portfolio, and people said, "Oh, his Facebook account must have got hacked because he talks about guarantees all the time." Yeah, I talk about guarantees, but if you have guaranteed money coming in, then you can actually take a little more risk if you want to with some of your other money. So I'm not against stocks. I'm not against real estate. I'm not even against crypto for a small. I put 1% of my portfolio in there, and it's done very well for me. But I'm what the problem is, people go hog wild. They put all their money in stocks or all their money in real estate or all their money in crypto. That is not the way to go. You've got to stay balanced, and you. In retirement, you don't get a chance to make it all over again. If that market goes down and you lose money, that can damage your retirement. So you've got to have some guaranteed income so you can enjoy it. You want to have some paychecks, but then you can invest a little more aggressively for the playchecks.
I love that. Paychecks and playchecks. And folks, give us a call, 888-988-JOSH. Right now, 888-988-JOSH. You get Tom's book, Don't Worry, Retire Happy, for free when you schedule your 45-minute strategy session. So you mentioned sequence of returns risk. And up after the next break, we'll talk more about sequence of returns risk. When we return, this is Josh Jelinski, the financial quarterback. Don't touch that dial. Call us, 888-988-JOSH, 888-988-JOSH. We'll be back after this.
The preceding program was sponsored by the Jelinski Advisory Group.
Any awards, rankings, or recognition by unaffiliated third parties or publications, including 5-Star Wealth Manager, Advisory of the Year finalist by Senior Market Advisor, and top of the $1 Million Roundtable, are in no way indicative of the advisor's future performance or any individual client's investment success. No award, ranking, or recognition should be construed as a current or past endorsement of Josh Jelinski or Wealth Quarterback LLC. Information regarding specific awards, rankings, or recognitions is available on the Wealth Quarterback website at www.jelinski.org. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss. Investment strategies such as asset allocation, diversification, or rebalancing do not assure or guarantee better performance and cannot eliminate the risk of investment losses. There are no guarantees that a portfolio employing these or any other strategy will outperform a portfolio that does not engage in such strategies. This broadcast should not be construed by any client or prospective client as a solicitation to effect or attempt to effect transactions in securities or the rendering of personalized investment advice. Due to various factors, including changing market conditions, the information discussed in this broadcast may no longer be reflective of current positions or recommendations. While information presented is believed to be factual and up to date, Josh Jelinski and Wealth Quarterback do not guarantee its accuracy, and it should not be regarded as a complete analysis of the subjects discussed. The tax and estate planning information discussed is general in nature, is provided for informational purposes only, and should not be construed as legal or tax advice. Listeners should consult an attorney or tax professional regarding their specific legal or tax situation. Advisory services offered through Wealth Quarterback LLC.